Hello everybody and welcome back to another What If Civilization Started Over video. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at another episode of What If the Whole World Went to War. And last episode, we saw some of the big powers go to war, like the USA took all Canada, Russia took Ukraine and Belarus, and Poland and Romania got a little bit of land out of that. And then China took Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan, and Japan got both Koreas, but a little bit part of it went to China of North Korea. Then one of the bigger events had more people in it. We saw this happening down here with Colombia just being gone, and Venezuela got a lot of land. Ecuador got a ton of land, and Panama is now pretty big. But in today's episode, we're going to be seeing some new powers rising, kind of. And the first one doing that is going to be right here. And it's going to be Brazil. And they're going to sign a treaty with Argentina. And you might be asking, well, why are they doing this? It's because they have a plan. And they're going to put it into action now, as they march across the border, start taking all the land from Uruguay, and they eventually capture all of Uruguay and annex Uruguay. Meanwhile, at the same time, Argentina is here. Just like this, okay. Argentina's here, and they're going up into Paraguay. Eventually, they take the northern part of the country, and a good amount until Brazil gets there. This is a treaty. They're not in an alliance. So, the new border is going to look like this. So now, South America has seen probably the most action out of them all. Now we're going to recolor all of this. Just like that. And now we see that South America is getting a lot smaller. Next, we're going to see some major powers over here in Africa taking place. And the first thing that happens is South Africa they take over, and they march in and take over Lesotho and Swaziland. It's not called that anymore. It's actually called Eswatini, but they also take Eswatini over. And now they're gonna partner up with another team, and two other teams actually. One being Madagascar. The other being Zimbabwe, right here. And they go into Mozambique and Malawi, and they take over some of the land. Down here is all taken over by them, and Madagascar takes the north. Malawi is left to live another day. But then they weren't originally going to be left until, Zambia came and stole their kill. So I guess that happened. Now for the peace treaty, basically all that's going to be happening is they pretty much get what they wanted. Right there. And Zimbabwe gets like all that land. Then Madagascar gets all this land. And then there's like a little new country that's popping up. So there. We're just gonna give them the land. Oh, emergency alert. That's fun. Okay, well I cleared it away. If you're wondering, I'm fine. That was an evacuation alert for a different county. So, I'm okay. Anyway, we see these countries getting all that land that they asked for. There we go. And now all these countries got their land. And then there's this little pocket right here. And that goes over to them. And now we see more divided up. Africa. Boom. Okay. Boom. Faster with this so we get to the next thing. That's good enough. And now we can see that a lot of Africa is more divided. The next thing we see happening is over here, and what's going to be happening is Laos and Cambodia are going to unite under one team. And they're going to try to go after Vietnam. So, as we know, history has gone pretty well for Vietnam, I would say. But basically what's going to happen is first the bottom part of the country gets taken. But Vietnam is holding up. But they do invade into the north of this new country. But eventually Laos and Cambodia combined are able to make it up the peninsula a little bit more. That is until Vietnam makes it to their capital. Because the capital is held in Laos at Vietnam, I think it's called. So, yeah. They win. They get the north of the country. So all this is now theirs. As well as some of that. And then the new borders look up something like this. And like that. So, we see all this going back to the red team. And there's new countries. Ta-da. Plus countries exist. And now India is going to be forming their sort of empire thing as oh yeah, that doesn't work. Let's color them like this. And first they're going to go down to Sri Lanka. Take them pretty easily. Then they go up to Bangladesh. Easy once again. I should have this bit of land. Then we see that they send a compromise to Bhutan and Nepal and telling them they have to join. Nepal willingly joins. Bhutan is kind of mad about this because they were really good trade partners, but they have to accept. And now we see an Indian Empire kind of thing here. Kind of like the British Raj, just without like Pakistan. And Pakistan is going to try to get more countries control of, but they can't do anything for now. And now we're going to... And boom. Now we look at the Middle East as Turkey and Saudi Arabia join together, they band together, and they fight their way through the Middle East. Israel is a real pushback, but with the help of Egypt, they are able to push up through there. Meanwhile, let's get to that. Meanwhile, Turkey is able to get through Lebanon and to Cyprus with ease. Then Iraq is going to join Iran, as well as Kuwait. So now there's just this big place, and that stops them from going any further. But Saudi Arabia is able to go down south and take Qatar. So they're able to keep the lands they got. Now we're gonna have to redraw. Okay, so now this whole area is unified a lot more. And now we're gonna do it all, make it all back to white. Oh, that looks horrible. White. Oh, what are you doing here? And there we go. So, a lot of countries have been divided up. And now we're going to look at the Balkans, where some important stuff happens up here. And by now, all the microstates are taken over. And the biggest thing that we see happening is that Netherlands is able to reunify the Benelux. They conquer it. As well as we see Denmark being fought by Germany, and they eventually take all of Denmark. In the middle, Czechoslovakia gets reformed, and eventually Austria-Hungary get formed, until we get Czechoslovakia, Austria, Hungary. So they all unify into this big mess. And that's fun. Down here, Serbia takes over Kosovo. Albania takes over Montenegro. Croatia and Bosnia have a good fight, but eventually Bosnia is able to take them over, barely, but with heavy losses, as they do lose a good amount of land over to this Czechoslovakia, Austria-Hungary. They lose that much land. That's pretty much going to do it for today's episode. A good amount happened. I mean, the map looks noticeably different if you look at the right spots. So, if you enjoyed, please share your support. And I have one thing left to say before we end the video. And it's not that big. It's the Gambia gets taken over by Senegal. It's kind of understandable how they barely have anything, because back in colonial times, the French owned Senegal, but the British were able to keep like anything along the river that they could shoot out with their cannonballs, and how far they could shoot with their cannonballs, which would be what they get. So they got all that land. But if you enjoyed today's video, please share your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.